Tim, hey, just wondering what your first impressions are of Mauricio, your new coach, and some of the things, ideas he's introduced, and where things are headed now that he has opened his first camp and is preparing for his first match. Thanks.
Yeah, training's been good. We've had the full group together today for the first time. It's intense. I mean, we had a pretty long session. I'd say one of the longer ones we've had with the national team set up. So just working on basics. Looked at a few things from yesterday's training and reviewed that. And as a result, they worked in some movement things and connection things with the back line and midfielders, and the attackers all went together and worked on a few things. So yeah, just really getting their ideas into our heads and into our understanding to make sure that we're all on the same page going forward.
Next will be Henry Bushnell from Yahoo.
Thanks, Michael, and thanks to Tim and Jed. I appreciate your time. And sorry, I actually missed Steve's question, so sorry if I'm repeating anything. But what has it been like off the field so far? Just the first 24 or 48 hours. What type of stuff have you guys done? Either of you can answer.
Not too much. Obviously, lads just kind of getting in from long haul flights and stuff. Lads have been tired. So the coach has kind of met with people like as a group today for the first time. He's kind of addressed us all and said how he wants certain things to be. Yesterday, before all the boys were here, he was kind of meeting people individually and just, talking through some things, getting to know everyone a little bit better. And that's about it, really. It's been a short time that we've all been here, so there's not been too much off the field.
We'll go to Paul Tenorio from The Athletic.
Thanks so much. This is for Antonee. You were the first to meet him by chance, it sounds like, out at a team dinner. Could you tell us what was the name of the restaurant that you were eating at, and how surprised were you to look over and see your new coach, and what did you say when you guys got a chance to start chatting? Thanks.
Yeah, it was a restaurant in Knightsbridge called Clap, which I'd never heard of, but he lives pretty much next door, and we had a Fulham team dinner there, and he was obviously there at the same time, and a couple of the guys walked in and was like, "Oh, we just walked past your new manager." And he's played, a couple of the lads in our team have played for him before, so they went over and said hello, and it was Harrison Reed was like, "Oh yeah, there's Anthony, by the way." So I came over, said hello, and we were just chatting for a little bit, asking him, if he's excited, what the situation's been like, has he been over, things like that, just casual.
We'll go to Doug McIntyre from Fox.
Thanks, Michael. Tim, how has Mauricio and the staff sort of struck a balance between being open, getting to know everyone on a personal level, and also instilling the message that they're here for business, they're here to win? And Jedi, for you, Zach Steffen back in the team for first time in a long time. What's it been like having him back? And just in general terms, what's it like welcoming in a guy who's been around in the past as opposed to a newcomer? Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You want to go first?
I can go first. Yeah.
Yeah,
Obviously, Steph coming back in. It's been a while since I've seen him, but happy to have him. He sounds just catching up. On personal things and how he's doing at club level now. It sounds like he's enjoying his football again, in a much better place than he was before. And just seeing him in general, it's kind of like not much has changed. There's still a lot of the guys who were there have been with him before and know him, so he kind of fits back into the fold, same as he did, and it's just kind of his opportunity again to try and prove himself and get himself in the team.
Yeah, I mean, like Jed said earlier, it's been there were a lot of individual conversations, understanding us as people, and they've continued throughout. Obviously, I had mine, right when I showed up on Sunday, and as meals and as hours have ticked by, you see certain guys getting pulled to have sit down chats, and I think it's great. It's they want to get to know us, and obviously we want to get to know them, and the message is that he wants to win, right? He has his principles, he has his ideas, but at the end of the day, it's about winning, and it's important to have that mentality. It's important to have that mindset going forward, and leading into these games and the beyond that.
Next will be Ryan Talmadge from Goal.com.
Thank you, Michael. Jedi, this one's for you. Obviously, you're a guy who is not only almost always in the team, but almost always starting. And, last camp you weren't here. You had the chance to kind of stay back in England and maybe watch from afar with what was going on and watch the whole process with Mauricio kind of unfold from afar. So for you, what was last month like watching those games and watching and talking to everyone on the ground with what was going on? And how did you kind of handle September camp, not actually being in it and getting to sit back and see what was going on?
Yeah, it's difficult. Obviously, the summer I had was kind of hectic with surgeries and whatnot. So speaking with Mikey, who was in charge at the time, we both kind of felt mutually that it'd be in my best interest to kind of sit that camp out and have a rest, which there's not often that I'm going to do that. So taking advantage of it when it felt right was I felt like the best thing to do. It's difficult watching the boys the first game against Canada getting beat. Tough to watch, not enjoyable when you know that you can't be there to help. And yeah, I've obviously caught up with the boys after it and spoken to them about it. But in terms of going forward, obviously we've transitioned now to Mauricio being head coach, and it feels like it's a big change from that September camp to now. So we're going to see how that unfolds.
Next is Ron Blum from the Associated Press.
Hi, for both of you, compared to, let's say, when Greg came in, how have the way he gone about the first 2 days been the same, and how different, both with setting up meetings and integrating the team and trying to start implementing tactics?
Yeah, I mean, straight away it seems a little bit more intense. I mean, usually lads getting in on a Monday, or getting in on a Sunday and training on the Monday. If you've played on the Saturday, it's kind of light. You're not doing a lot. You're recovering on the bike. Yesterday we were kind of straight into training, and it was a tough session. So we were kind of right. We're here to work. So it was definitely intense from the front foot, and then he knows that we've got a short period of time to kind of understand the principles he wants us to play with and tactics and whatnot, which we've not really gotten into yet. It's only day 2, and we've only just got the full team here today. So yeah, it's obviously small steps, but it definitely feels like camp's going to be a period where we'll have time to enjoy it, but we're going to work hard and really build towards success.
Next is Charlie Bone from MLSsoccer.com.
Hi, gents. This question is for Tim. Tim, in a recent interview with CNN, Mauricio said that there may be players in MLS who are playing regularly, may have an advantage in the player pool and in selection over European-based guys who maybe aren't getting minutes. And as someone who's been on both sides of the Atlantic, I wanted to put this in front of you. It seems like one of the toughest things a coach has to do is kind of evaluate these different players in different leagues. And I wonder how you see this topic and maybe what effect it'll have on the competition for minutes.
Yeah, I think it's always an interesting, I guess, debate, so to speak. But I think when a coach or a manager comes in, they have to understand players as people as well. They have to manage the travel, the minutes played, the teams that guys are playing against, and try to marry all of those things into one solid group, and put personalities and people together, and so that's if that's a mixture, if it's if it's more European guys than MLS guys, if it's sprinkling MLS guys in, I think it's one of those that it's kind of going to be up to the manager to obviously figure out how to get the best out of all of us, and how do each player's strengths match with the guys that are on the field at any one time, and that's the part of the job as and part of the pressure as a manager is how do you get those guys to all be on the same page, coming from all different different areas of the world and all different style of teams and leagues, and I don't necessarily know that one one group of players has an advantage over the others. You still have to be playing and working hard at club, and then come in here and work just as hard, if not harder, to to do it right in front of his eyes to be a part of his plan. So. I don't see it as an advantage one way or the other. It's all about putting your head down and doing what he's asking, and being able to adapt. And if you can do that, then obviously you're going to have the advantage over guys who can't adapt.
Next is Leander Sherlockins.
Hey Tim, you've been through this a few times now. As a veteran on the team, how much of a responsibility do you feel when there is a coaching change to make sure that there's a kind of continuity in the culture and in the kind of the foundation that's been built in the past?
Yeah, obviously I think cultures are important. I think the continuity of the togetherness is important more than say the overall culture, right? This group and this staff are going to have things that they want to do differently, and again, we have to adjust and adapt to that culture and what they what they deem as important. But I think when it boils down to it, we have a responsibility to each other to continue to push each other forward, but also make sure that we're taking care of each other and doing it in the right way, and making sure that we're pushing each other and doing the right things on and off the field, and especially on the field, and making sure that we're doing what Maurizio is asking, and that's important. But at the end of the day, we're all here for the same reason, because we want to be a part of the national team, because we want to win games, we want to move the program in the right direction, and we want to challenge for trophies. And I think as long as we all understand that, we can push each other and continue to have that togetherness, no matter what the coach and the manager is asking.
Last question comes from Andrew Jones.
Thanks, Michael, as always. First for you, Jedi, with Mexico in this window, you facing up against Raul Jimenez, and the start that he's had for you all this season at Fulham, for what he's been through, and how this is a tremendous story. Just your perspective on what Raul has been doing this season for you all Fulham, and for you, Tim, seeing it from the outside, but seeing and knowing Raul the way that you've had, your thoughts on that, as well as Zach Steffen, your thoughts on him being back with the team. Shout out first.
Yeah, I mean, Raul obviously gotten off to a flyer since he's been back in the team with Fulham, which is great to see. He's kind of had two sort of spells with us where when he first came, he just couldn't find that goal for like the first 7-8 games or whatever, and then when he did finally score, came in a flurry. He scored quite a few in a row, got that red card. He was back out of the team. Then Rodrigo comes in, does very well. Raul finished the season scoring goals, but then the manager started Rodrigo in the first few games, and Raul's had to work hard off the pitch to get back in the team, and he's been rewarded for it. So. Just knowing that you have competition there, players of quality up top, it's great, helpful for the team. But yeah, on a personal level for him, as someone who's just a good guy to be around, very hard worker and got a lot of ability and experience. It's very happy to see him being rewarded for his hard work. Just got to try and nullify that in our game against him if he plays.
Yeah, I mean, I'd echo that. Obviously, spent last season with him, and he's. People may not like it, but he's one of the most likable guys, in that changing room. So, to see it from afar and see him start to put balls in the back of the net again consistently, especially at the club level is nice. It's amazing to see and watch him do his thing and get back to what he's good at. Like Jed said, he had a bit of a rough time last season, and now to start the way he has is, it's amazing for him, because he does work really, really hard, and does work really hard for the team. And then for Zach, I mean, similar to my situation before the World Cup, being out, not being a part of the program, not being in with the team, and you think, what more do you have to do? And he comes in, and it's like he's never been away, right? He just has that personality. Again, just someone who just works hard, puts his head down, personable, can talk to everybody, talk about anything, and to see him, walk back in and get his chance and have an opportunity to be here with all of us, just like everybody when we come in. It's so good to catch up with guys and see them, see them smiling and see him happy. And he's one of those guys that have been away, but to have him back has been really, really nice.